So what is an enforced disappearance? It is a very complex crime and violation. But in the first place, it's a situation in which there's no information about a relative, someone from your family, which causes untold suffering to, well, not only the person made to disappear, but also his or her relatives. So in a definition, usually there's three elements. One is the person is deprived of liberty, is detained, is arrested. Often that occurs in vague circumstances at the early hours in the morning. The second element is that the arrestation, the detention is denied, or there's no information given about that detention. So somehow it's taking someone and say, we haven't taken him. And the third element is that it's committed by persons or actors pertaining to the state. So the state is actually actively involved in making people disappear, and that makes it a human rights violation. The state's supposed to protect human rights, and instead of that, during an enforced disappearance, your rights are violated.
The Philippines, as a signatory to most of the major international human rights treaties and instruments, must live up to its commitments, in contrast to the dark era that once engulfed us. We have a government that is indeed serious about human rights.
Aking ama ay umpisa nung dinukot noong November 10, 2010. Hanggang ngayon hindi pa namin nakikita. Kaming balita sa aking ama kung pinatay ba nila, kung sinalvage ba nila, o ikinulong nila. Kung buhay pang aking ama, ilabas naman nila, parang awa na nila sa amin.
Mahal na Presidente Noynoy Aquino, ako po si Erlinda Cadapan, nanay po ni Sherlyn Cadapan na dinukot noong June 26, 2006.
On June 26, 2006, armed men abducted Erlinda's daughter, Sherlyn, in Bulacan, a province north of Manila. Taken along with Sherlyn was Karen Empeño. Both were students from the University of the Philippines. Both were activists. According to an eyewitness account, soldiers under the command of General Jovito Palparan, shown here at the Department of Justice during a hearing on the charges against him, were behind the abduction, torture, and rape of the two women.
Yung Sherlyn ay nakatali ang paa sa itaas, hubot-hubad pa. Ganun ba ang moralidad ng ating mga militar?
Nakaranas si Karen ng torture, binubuhusan ng tubig ang kanyang ilong na patiwarik, at nirape pa daw sila. At ang hindi pa maganda doon yung pinasukan pa daw ng kahoy o anong bagay ang kanilang ari.
In the past decade, hundreds of political activists, suspected insurgents, environmentalists, and journalists have been murdered, tortured, or abducted, allegedly by state security forces.
It is estimated that millions of persons have been direct victims of enforced disappearance, and many more, families and relatives, still suffer the consequences of this crime. Some have been mocked and harassed by authorities, and sometimes they have risked disappearance themselves. But these relatives have gone beyond their personal tragedy.
Palparan and three others were charged in November 2011, 5 years after the two women were abducted. And this happened only because of the efforts by their families to pursue the case. But Palparan and another soldier have managed to evade arrest, while the other two who surrendered are in a military camp rather than in a civilian jail.
Signal sa mga tuloy-tuloy din na dumudukot na pwede nilang gawin ang gusto nilang gawin kasi hindi rin sila mahuhuli.
Violators of human rights will be held accountable for their actions, and the state will protect, with unflagging commitment, the rights of all its citizens. The culture of silence, injustice, and impunity that once reigned is now a thing of the past.
Creates as well a monitoring body, a new committee on enforced disappearances. And this committee will have a range of means to watch over the compliance of the convention by the states who have ratified it.